This is Umar for BoxNation, live and exclusive from Riyadh. It is Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia, a huge global event this Friday night, and Kevin Lerena is a part of it. Just, I guess, honoured and glad to be a part of it, Kevin.
Most definitely. It's a big honour for me, coming from South Africa with my team to be here. It's an absolute honour, ready to put on a good performance.
Absolutely. How much do you know about Justis, Kevin?
I know enough about him. Obviously, he's got a good amateur pedigree. I'm fairly new in the pro ranks. I had only 8 professional fights, but I know enough about him, and my head trainer has studied him enough, so we know what we have to do.
Feel you deserve this opportunity, obviously the hard work you've put in your career, but specifically where really you were taken note of in boxing was that fight with Daniel Dubois on a massive stage in the UK on Tyson's undercard. And people have got their opinions and thoughts about that fight, Kevin, as I'm sure you well know, speaking to boxing fans. So deserve this opportunity, I'm sure you feel.
Yeah, look, obviously we got straight back to winning ways after the Daniel Dubois loss. We beat Riyadh Murray. That was my comeback fight after the loss, and we just saw Riyadh Murray beat Tony Yoka. So it was a good victory. We went straight in for it. He was former cruiserweight champion. And then we've had another fight since then, and we got this opportunity. You know, this opportunity came obviously when we were in camp with Tyson, and Peter, my trainer, was speaking to Spencer, and they offered us the fight. And, you know, initially we were thinking to ourselves, we don't really need the fight because the guy's only had 8 fights. You know, I'm rated much higher than him. But, you know, we thought the Saudis have changed the landscape of boxing, so there's no better opportunity for me to showcase my skills once again on a massive stage. So from Tottenham on the 3rd of December, now we're out here on the 8th of March at the Kingdom Arena. An absolute honour.
Yeah, I get why you say that, because generally speaking, this fight wouldn't make business sense for you. But as you said, what's going on in Riyadh, I think if you're turning down opportunities, that's probably not a great look.
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you take away from that fight with Daniel Dubois? Because I remember going into it, and I'm sure you understand why. People weren't really giving you a chance in that fight. And very quickly, you showed that you belong at that level. And we've seen Daniel Dubois in a competitive fight with Alexander Usyk since. So do you feel like that was sort of where you put your marker down to sort of world boxing?
I think to a point, yes. Obviously, being a cruiserweight and defending the belt 7 times, people took note of me then. But obviously, heavyweight boxing is the pinnacle of the sport, right? It's the big boys is where it happens. And obviously, having dropped Daniel put a lot of people on alert. But I learned a lot. I took a lot out of that. You know, I learned how to come back and go through adversity and to work hard. You know, to listen to my team. I mean, it was the first time I've been down on the canvas in an 11-year professional career. So I've never felt the canvas, not in sparring, not in a fight. So for me to get dropped and to get up took a lot, and I had to go through that adversity and learn and grow is very important.
Yeah, Justis Huni. Yeah, just getting just a couple of minutes left in this. Justis Huni, someone who's on the rise, really, as you stated in this interview. What are you expecting from him on Friday night? What are the dangers with him?
Of course, he's young, he's explosive, he throws good combination punches. You know, but there's a lot more to boxing than that. You know, he seems like he's got a lot of grit and will. He's gone the distance a couple of times with some big heavyweights, but he hasn't faced Kevin Lerena. So I don't really look at what he's done against other people. It's irrelevant to me. I focus on what he needs to do and what he's going to try to do against me, and that's my trainer's job to dissect that and to try work on what he's going to do against me and make me avoid that. So we know what we're going to be up against. He's young, he's explosive, we give him his credit, he's a tough competitor, but so am I. I'm also explosive, I'm also strong, and I know what I need to do to win.
And you're going to be too much for him?
Too much, too smart. Okay. Too much and too smart.
Okay. And representing South Africa on this big stage must mean something to you.
Of course, you know, South Africa, you know, we come from a country, you know, riddled with problems, to be honest and to be fair. But when it comes to sport, we always seem to rise to the occasion. I mean, look at the rugby, look at cricket, you can look at Dricus du Plessis in the UFC, Sivanati Nonchinga just won an IBF belt in Mexico on a big show there. So you know what, it's South African sportsmen rise to the occasion, and the country relies on us to keep flying the flag high, because it's up to sportsmen and sport to continue flying the flag high. And I'm just proud to be here, and I'm proudly South African.
Well said. Lastly, I will have to ask you this. You were in camp with Tyson. There are certain people, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but certain people within the sport who thought he might have cut himself just to avoid fighting Alexander Usyk. How was he looking, and what are your thoughts on those crazy conspiracies?
I'm going to give you 3 things towards that. Tyson was in phenomenal shape. I mean, it's pretty obvious after the injury how he posted photos. He was looking phenomenal, and I can assure you, no fighting man is going to go cut himself with a blade ahead of the biggest fight of his career. So people can believe what they want. Rumour mongers are there for a reason, but one thing I can tell you, Tyson Fury was 100% ready for Alexander Usyk.
I've spoken to a lot of people who've sparred him. How good is he, Tyson?
You know what I said? He's got such phenomenal ring IQ, and his ability to close the distance in and out there, his movement. Like I said to someone, if I best describe it, when you're sparring Tyson, if you're putting it on him and you've been active, after 1 round, it feels like you've been in there with 3 rounds with any other fighter. And the minute you take your foot off the gas, he's on you. So that's where he's special. He's got obviously a massive gas tank, and his ability to be on top of you the minute you're trying to take a breather. He's a good fighter, world-class fighter, and it's a great ring IQ. So it's an honour to share the ring with him.
I'm sure that work you've put in with him has really benefited you as well in that camp. So listen, best of luck this Friday night here in Riyadh. You can make a real marker on the world heavyweight scene. And thank you very much for talking to BoxNation. Go well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.